not sure if I'm here because for whatever reason I'm not seeing the chat. And I can usually see the chat. But it did update, so I don't know about that either. So yeah, I don't know if I'm here or not. Because I can't see if anyone else is here. Okay, this is getting to be a little bit on the annoying side because I can't seem to get things to work properly whenever I use this program. So I may end up having to figure out something else. And I may just have to do this in a different way because it says it's upcoming. Am I even here? Am I just talking? No, it says I'm live. And y'all can probably see my whole screen. What is that? No, I don't want to see that. And I may just have to, okay, people are here. Do this in a different way. I don't know what to do. I can't see your chat. And I don't understand why I can't see the chat. Aha. I found you. I'm here now. Okay. I found you. It was giving me trouble to start with, and I'm also trying to do something else to be able to share something else with y'all, but who knows if that's going to happen. So, hey, how are y'all doing? I'm doing okay today, other than a little confused because of this not working like it did before the update. Like, I was having trouble already learning it. Well, I wasn't having trouble. I'm still trying to learn it. And I was doing okay. And then it had to update, which is what happens. Okay, so let's go on to the prayer list because we have several. I don't know if you guys, how many of you saw the community post I did yesterday. And I don't know if this is live chat or what. Hopefully it is. It's supposed to be now. But anyway, I had put a post up about Donna and Robin. And I had told you guys that Donna had fallen. Hi, Kathy. Let's see, there's Joanne, Gina, Amy, Flora, Joanne. Oh, Joanne said hi to someone else. Okay, sorry. And Kathy. Hey, y'all. Okay, so, anyway, she fell, but she's okay. She's a little bit bruised and probably sore, but she's okay. And Robin, actually, she talked to me this morning. She gave me another update. He actually fed himself today, so that's a big step. But he doesn't, they don't know exactly when he's going to get out and go to a rehab. But either way, he's doing better, so that's good. So I wanted to talk about that. And Donna didn't have to go to the hospital or anything. She just, but rescue did come out to check on her. So let's see. Then Carol's niece is still, I'm not sure what date. Do y'all remember what date she said she was having surgery? That her niece is having surgery? Her name is Janet. I don't remember what date, but it's sometime in this month. I wanted to say like the 16th or something. It might have been the 16th, but anyway, it's soon. So keep her in your prayers. And then, I don't know if Chris had his MRI yet, Mary's husband. And I don't know, she's not here today, it seems, so I don't know how Cecily is. I haven't heard anything else about her, so keep her in your prayers. And also Michelle, Cecily's mama, which is Mary's daughter. So, all of Mary's little family. Yeah, I don't remember what day, but I know it's February. I wrote down February, but I didn't write the date. So let's see if there's anybody else. And then Doug Maddox was the one that I'm sure he's still recovering from his surgery where that he had fallen off a ladder. And let's see. And then Amy Teague, her husband passed away. And then Amy, our blessed family, told me today that her cousin Wesley and his wife, they have found out that they are pregnant again, but they have lost a baby. So they're praying for a healthy pregnancy, healthy delivery, and we've got 35 more weeks to be praying for this little family. So we need to keep them in our prayers, Stephanie and Wesley, because there's anxiety about it, of course. I'm sure there is. I don't know anybody who wouldn't have anxiety about it. Well, you have a little bit of anxiety whenever you're pregnant anyway. But then if you've had a loss, it's even worse. Let's see. I don't know of anybody else other than Selena. Always Selena. Because I believe she is just so lost. And she just needs to find her way back to God. I believe that is the whole issue. Also, pray for Noah, because he's had some changes lately that he has decided to make. And nothing bad, but he's decided to go to school. But before he goes to school, we've had discussions and prayed about it, the three of us here, and he has decided to quit his job so that he can be able to, which this is the first time I've told any of y'all, except one person, but he's decided to quit his job so he can devote his time to school. He's got money saved back for all of this, and also, of course, we would help him wherever he needs. He only has his car insurance. He doesn't have any other bills, and he's still living at home, so it's not a big deal, but he wants to devote his time to that, and I feel like it will be the best thing, and we just all three feel like that will be the best way for him to do it. So, he's looking into all that. And now he's letting the dogs out. So it's fixing to get loud. Allie, stop barking. But anyway, so that's going on. And Allie barks every single time you let her out, you let her in, you look at the door. If you walk to the back door, she barks. But anyway, I'm going to let them calm down. He's feeding them now, too. I'm going to let them calm down, and then we'll get into the study. But I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about what I plan on doing with the study, because we're going to be studying Ishmael and his descendants. And if y'all have any, I didn't say this part. If y'all have any prayer requests, you can put them in the chat. Or if you don't want it to be public, you can you can send me an email. My email is on my About page, and it's also in most of my videos. It's not in my older videos. That's why I say it's in most. Oh, it's in the most recent ones anyway. It's not in the old ones because I didn't used to put it in there. I don't know why I didn't. I don't think I did. I don't know. Anyways, it's always been on my About page. But if you have a prayer request that you don't want mentioned and you want me to pray for you, you can always send it that way. Or if there's ever a time whenever you're just watching one of my videos and I'm not doing the Bible study, you can always leave a prayer request there. So, I do want to start this study with saying I am not a Bible scholar. I am not someone who knows a lot. I'm just somebody who likes to study God's Word. I'm someone who likes to know more about what God expects of us and know more about the people that He decided were to be in the Bible. And I feel like every person that He has named in the Bible, there's a reason for it. Whether we know that reason right now, or we might know that reason 10 years from now, or we may never know that reason until we get to heaven, there's a reason God put everything in His Word. So nothing's in there by mistake. So I just wanted to say that. And I may get things wrong. I may get it right. I don't know. But I wanted to start off by saying that for sure. And also, this study, I feel like, is going to be more than one day. It cannot be just one day and we're done. Because Ishmael had 12 sons and a daughter. And that's the ones we know about. And the daughter that we know about married Esau, which is his cousin. So, which we'll get into that too. And I feel like whenever I first said we'll study Ishmael, I was like, okay, we'll do that and we'll get done in one day. And then I started looking and I started taking notes, and I'm like, I didn't realize that all of his children were like documented in the Bible. And I didn't realize that some of them are documented multiple times. And they had big impacts or some sort of impact on other people that are in the Bible. And I thought, I can't just do this in one day. It's not going to work that way. Because I don't think it'd be doing it justice. I don't think it would give enough. It wouldn't be enough time. It's just what I think. Y'all can tell me what you think as well. But today I just want to kind of get a start on it. Hi, Carol. I just want to get a start on it and go from there. And let's just see where this goes is what I want to do. What you doing, baby? Snacking. I was going to say there's biscuits and stuff on the... He's getting pound cake. Okay, so first of all, I wanted to talk about Josephus. Josephus Flavius, and I have his book right here. And I was also trying to pull it up on Kindle because I do have it on Kindle. But for whatever reason, it's not working. Kindle does not like me today. I was going to try to show y'all what it was that I was trying to do. We'll see if it comes up. If it does, fine. If not, I'll read it from here. Okay, so the reason why I want to tell you about Josephus is not because he was in the Bible. It's not because of anything like that. But it is because he is someone who lived back then, 37 AD to 100 AD. He was someone who was there, and he's a Jewish historian. And I want to read this to y'all, and then y'all can just, we'll get what we get from it. Okay, it says Flavius Josephus, a.k.a. Joseph, or I think they say Yosef, because J's are Y's, ben Mattayahu in Hebrew, was a Jew who grew up in Jerusalem at the beginning of the Common Era. He was well educated, knowing both Jewish text and Greek language, although his Greek grammar was faulty. During the Great Revolt of 66 through 73 CE, Josephus served as a general of the Galilee. When the Roman army overcame his forces, Josephus and 40 compatriots fled to a cave. They agreed to commit suicide. Josephus fixed the lot so that his name would come out last. So he was a little bit of a deceiver, it seems. After the others killed themselves, Josephus convinced the remaining fighter to surrender with him. So he decided to go, instead of him dying, the last one with him, he decided, let's go surrender to them. So, which is crazy. I don't know. Well, no, it's not crazy. I mean, it's very deceitful, I feel, or it's life-preserving. I don't know. It's according to how you look at it. As a prisoner of the Romans, Josephus volunteered to write the history of the Great Revolt. General, later Emperor Vespasian, agreed. In the Jewish War, which is part of this book, this is the complete works. The Jewish War is in this. Josephus, thus provided the Romans and now us with the first-hand account of the fall of Jerusalem in 70 CE. It must be emphasized that Josephus was writing for Vespasian. He was also writing from Rome, so his work is definitely biased. He mentioned several times in his Greek writings that he created the Aramaic version of the events as well, but unfortunately, it is not extant. Josephus' second major work, Jewish Antiquities, which is something that we're going to be reading, I think that's the one we're reading from, or I'm reading from, described the entire history of the Jews. It included a great deal of material from the time of Alexander the Great to the destruction of the Second Temple. However, because of Josephus' proclivity to depend on hearsay and legend, scholars are never sure what to accept as fact. The Greco-Roman period involved the most changes in Judaism. I can't read. Maybe I'm trying to go too fast. It's also the most obscure to historians. We don't know a great deal about Jewish history from the time of Alexander the Great until the Bar Kokhba revolt. How do you say that? Our sources are few. They include the brief incidents in the New Testament, brief references by the sages of rabbinic literature, obscure texts from the Qumran, the Dead Sea Scrolls, which I have a copy of that. I'm supposed to be anyway. Some brief mentions by Greek and Roman writers, and Flavius Josephus. Because of the paucity of other sources, Josephus' works are most thorough histories of the period that we have. So long as we retain some skepticism, his writings provide a greatest insight into what happened to the Jewish people during that 500-year period. So, the reason why I wanted you to know who he was is mainly that last little bit right there. And a little bit of this up here. He said himself that he, it's biased. We know that. He said that he did things. Let's see, that he created the Aramaic version of the events. And we know that some of it might not be very accurate. A lot of history is not going to be perfectly accurate because it's taken from that bird's eye view, that one person. Or is that bird's eye view? Anyway, from that point of view. Like, my history may not be the same as someone else's that was there. Because we see things differently. But I still feel like his writings can help us to understand other things that were going on in the culture. And I know I'm probably going into this a little too far. Is it going to open? Are you going to open? Now, am I going to be able to make it work and get, I may not be able to get it to, okay. Let me see if I can do this. I don't know if I can find things like is in here. Oh, no. Okay, this is not going to work. So this was just a waste of my time trying. Well, not really. I'm going to be able to have it later, but if it had worked properly, I would have been able to share it with you guys without just reading it. I would have had it on the screen. So, I wanted to read this. Even though we can get it from the Bible, I wanted to read it from Josephus' point of view. And I don't know why, other than it just, I don't know. Let me just read it. Now, Abram dwelt near the oak called, it's Ogygges, Ogigs, I don't know. The place belongs to Canaan, not far from the city of Hebron. But being uneasy at his wife's barrenness, he entreated God to grant that he might have male issue. And God required of him to be of good courage, and said that he would add to all the rest of the benefits that he had bestowed on him ever since he led him out of Mesopotamia, the gift of children. Accordingly, Sarai, at God's command, which this is one of the parts that I'm like, that's not what the Bible says. At God's command, brought to his bed one of her handmaidens, a woman of Egyptian descent, in order to obtain children by her. I don't remember the Bible saying that God told her to do that. Y'all let me know if I'm right or wrong, but I don't remember it. And when this handmaid was with child, she triumphed, and ventured to affront Sarai, as if the dominion were to come to a son to be born of her. But when Abram resigned her into the hand of Sarai to punish her, she contrived to fly away, as not able to bear the instances of Sarai's severity to her, and she entreated God to have compassion on her. Now a divine angel met her as she was going forward in the wilderness, and bid her return to her master and mistress, for if she would submit to that wise advice, she would live better hereafter. For that reason of her being in such a miserable case with this, that she had been ungrateful and arrogant towards her mistress. He also told her that if she disobeyed God and went on still in her way, she should perish. But if she would return back, she should become a mother of a son who would reign over that country. These admonitions she obeyed, and returned to her master and mistress, and obtained forgiveness. A little while afterwards, she bare Ishmael, and this is Ismael is the way he spells it, but it's Ishmael, is who they're talking about, who he's talking about, which may be interpreted heard of God, because God had heard his mother's prayer. The aforementioned son was born to Abram when he was 86 years old, but when he was 99, God appeared to him and promised him that he should have a son by Sarai, and commanded that his name should be Isaac, and showed him from this son should spring great nations and kings, and that they should obtain all the land of Canaan by war, from Sidon to Egypt. But he charged him, in order to keep his posterity unmixed with the others, that they should be circumcised in the flesh of their foreskin, and that this would be done on the 8th day after they were born. The reason of the circumcision I will explain in another place. And Abram inquiring also concerning Ishmael, whether he should live or not, God signified to him that he should live to be very old, and should be a father of great nations. Abram therefore gave thanks to God for these blessings, and then he and all the family and his son Ishmael were circumcised immediately, the son being that day 13 years of age, and he 99. Okay, the whole reason I wanted to read this is because Ishmael was 13 whenever he was circumcised. Okay, I have heard people say that he was evil, or he was not of God, and all these things because he was not ever circumcised. Well, it says, I know it says in the Bible that he was circumcised, but it's here too. And another thing is, it says that he will be the father of great nations. We know it says it in the Bible, and it says it here too. We don't need confirmation from Josephus. I just found it interesting that he wrote this, and people try to say that the Bible's not real, that kind of thing. That's the whole reason I even wanted to bring this book up. But it says in the Bible that he will have great nations. And I've heard people say that, I don't know how to explain it, that the Ishmael's children were like, you know how the devil has a mimicking of God's things? Like, he'll have something that looks similar, but it's evil. Well, I've heard some people say that Ishmael's children were the evil of the 12 tribes of Israel that were good. I don't necessarily feel like God made that whole nation, or those whole nations, evil. I don't believe that's the reason why. And that's one thing I'm hoping to figure out during this time. That's why I said, I don't think we can do this in one day. I just don't. Because I'm already almost 30 minutes in, which I did have some issues with it. But I don't know if y'all have ever heard of Josephus. I don't know if you've ever read any of his writings. I don't know, any of that. But it just, he says things. Yes, he could have gotten it from the Bible himself, but he was there in those times, Not the whole time, but he was there in those times. So I just felt it was interesting and wanted to bring up that, I knew the Bible said he had been circumcised, but then I'd heard people say he wasn't. And it's like, why does it even matter if God said he was going to have nations? Now, I don't know if any of that was even important. I just wanted to read it to y'all because I find it interesting. So, the next thing I want to go to, and I do have these websites in the description box, and I do have the book in the description box, which is a newer version, but it's the same one. I have the Kindle version and the paper version. You see that. The Kindle version is like 99 cents. The paper version is like $60. So, that's a lot of difference. I actually only paid $15 or $20 for this one, and at the time, whenever this one was published, it was $25.99 is how much the retail value. So you can probably find it cheaper. But this is 1990. Oh, the year Noah was born. 24 years ago, whenever this was done, which I didn't buy it then. But anyway, it's one of the super value series from Nelson, so you might be able to find it cheaper. I'm pretty sure you can find it cheaper than $60. I just wanted to give y'all a reference. So if any time that I put a link to Amazon or something, I'm just putting a reference. That does not mean you have to buy it from Amazon. That does not mean it's the best price, which I do try to put the best price things, but with this, I didn't look. So let's go on to this so we can get into it. In Genesis 25, 13 through 16, all of the descendants are named. Actually, let me just pull up that. Can you work? No? Okay. Alright, Genesis 25, 13 through... Let's just start at 12. Now these are the generations of Ishmael, Abraham's son from Hagar the Egyptian, Sarah's handmaid, bare unto Abraham. And these are the names of the sons of Ishmael, by their names, according to their generations. The firstborn of Ishmael, Nabahath, I think it's how it's supposed to be said, or maybe Nebajoth, I don't know. And Kedar, and Abiel, and Mibsam, and Mishma, and Duma, and Massa, Hadar, and Tema, Jetur, Naphish, and Kedema. These are the sons of Ishmael, and these are their names, by their towns and by their castles, 12 princes according to their nations. And these are the years of the life of Ishmael, 137 years. He gave up the ghost and died, and he gathered unto his people, which I went a little bit further. He also has a daughter named, some people say Mahalath. Let me find that. Let me go to that. Genesis 28, 9. And this is talking about whenever Esau married her. Then went Esau unto Ishmael, and took unto the wives which he had Mahalath, the daughter of Ishmael, Abraham's son, the sister of Nebajoth, to be his wife. So some people call her that, and some people call her Bashmith. Let me see if I can look that up. Is that how you spell it? No. I can't type. My keyboard's not where it belongs either. Did I spell that right? Yes. Alright. So, in Genesis 30... Why didn't I just look at my notes? I have it right there. It's got her name that way. So, I don't understand why in the Bible that sometimes the name is different, but it's talking about the same girl. Genesis 26:34 talks about her too, and then there's more. There's more. I'm not going to even go over that. I just wanted to bring up the point that he has recorded in the Bible. Ishmael has 12 sons and 1 daughter. Okay. We know that he's the son of Abraham, Sarah's maidservant, all of those things. and that he was driven away whenever, I think he was 13. We actually talked about this, but I think he was 13. But I'm not sure, and I don't think this says. But he did end up marrying. Hagar found him a wife from Egypt. And this tells where he settled in the desert of Paran. He lived in the wilderness of Paran, and his mother took a wife from him from the land of Egypt. Egypt's descendants settled in the areas from Havilah to Shur, near the border of Egypt as to go toward Asher, they settled in Havilah to Shur, which is opposite Egypt in the direction of Asher. He settled over against all his kinsmen. Then it lists all the names in the Bible. And I feel like if we just try to do this all, I need to stop saying that. But I wanted to read a little bit about this, but I don't really want to read these whole entire web pages. That's why I put them in the description for y'all to look at if you want to, because I feel like, I could sit here and read it all, but y'all could read it too, and then maybe y'all could study, and we could study it together and maybe figure out things and all that. I don't know what I'm saying. I really didn't know how to go about this. But anyway, each one of the children seemed to have a different type of job, which actually two of the sons, the third and the seventh, they're only mentioned in Genesis 25, 13 through 16, and I think in 2 Chronicles 1, 29 through 31. No, what? Did I write? I had to have written the wrong thing down. What did I write? 1 Chronicles. I didn't write the wrong thing down. I clicked the wrong thing and said the wrong thing. Alright, 29 through 31. They're named there. But that's the only two places that two of them are named. And I have not found any more information about them yet. That's another reason why I wanted to do a little bit more study. But his descendants were all in that area. And then there are some people who say that the Muslims came from Nabajoth or Nabaoth. I don't know how to say it. Or Nabahoth. I don't know how to say it. Anyway, the first son. But then others say that he came from, the Muslims came from Kedar. I don't know which one that is either. And then it's got down here about the Prophet Muhammad. But then I looked and I found that there's people who say that Muhammad is not a descendant of Ishmael's children, and others who say he is. And I guess today it's really not a Bible study. It's really me trying to talk to y'all about how we should go ahead with this, because there's so much. Which I know that I've talked about some things that might be interesting to y'all. I don't know. But there's a lot of different places a lot of different people that can place their lineage back to Ishmael. Like it says right here, the Muslims and not all Arabians are descendants of Ishmael, as Muslims try to claim. So it was trying to say, Arabians are, but some of them are not. And I really don't know how to go from here. And then here it talks about who are the Ishmaelites. Simply put, the Ishmaelites are descendants of Ishmael, the son of Abraham, by his wife's handmaiden Hagar, which we know that. That's who the Ishmaelites would be. Which it talks about the same thing we already talked about, and about the wilderness whenever the angel came and she went back and all those things. Oh, he was 14 when Isaac was born. Okay, so he was actually older than 14 whenever they left, from what this says. Not sure how old. And see, I didn't even realize that they were called Midianites. But not all Midianites are descendants of Ishmael. So it's like so much. So let's see, how am I supposed to explain this? Ishmael's children had so much more influence on biblical times and what happened in the Bible than what I thought. Whenever we talked about it a few weeks ago. Oh, we'll do Ishmael. And then we talked about it last week. Oh, we'll do that. And I was like, oh, that'll be easy. I was thinking, that'll be so easy. That'll be just like, real quick, we'll do it in one day and we'll be done. And then I started studying and I'm like, no, it's not possible. I can't just do it in one day, because I'll just tell you some of the books of the Bible, and if y'all want me to, I'll go back and I'll list these in the description. Nabajoth, the first son, Isaiah 67, 60.7. He's mentioned there. Kedar is mentioned in Psalms, Jeremiah, Song of Solomon, Isaiah, Jeremiah again, Ezekiel, Isaiah, 2 different times. Now Abdil is just the 2 times. Mibsam is 1 Chronicles. Mishma is 1 Chronicles. Duma is Joshua and Isaiah. Massa is just those 2 times that I talked about. Hadar is in Genesis. Tema is in Job, Jeremiah, and Isaiah. Jetur is in 1 Chronicles. Naphish is in 1 Chronicles. And some people say, some people say. I'm trying to figure out. That's what I'm trying to say. Naphish and Nephish, there's 2 different names, and I'm wondering if they're the same person. Because if they are, he's in other places. Oh, there's another one that's only the 2 places. Kedema, the second one. And then his daughter is in Genesis 3 times, 4 times, no, 5 times. 5 times she's in Genesis. That's just what I found so far. So, they're found throughout the Old Testament. And Kedar seems like he's the one that's the most prominent. Please put them in the description. Okay, I'll type them up whenever we're done. But I really want to know from y'all, how do y'all want to study these people? Do y'all want to study each one, or maybe a couple of them each week? Or, we could probably do 2 to 3 a week. And some of them we wouldn't even have to do, because there's nowhere else that they're mentioned in the Bible. But kind of go over where they're at in the Bible, which I don't even know if that would be enough time. Because it may end up that it goes further. And I really thought Ishmael really didn't have much to do in the Bible. He was kind of forgotten about. And then when I started looking into it, and I actually started to put a community post up a couple days ago, and then last night I talked to Amy and I was like, I don't know what to do because it's a lot and I've been trying to figure it out. And I actually talked to Jeff about it. I said, I don't know how to do this. I've gotten myself into some crazy because this is way bigger. It's just so much bigger than I thought. But I thought we could go through the scriptures that I found so far. We could kind of figure out what's going on in those scriptures, why that they're there. I don't know. I don't know where it's going to go. But I honestly did not think that Ishmael had that much influence over the things that happened in the Bible. I didn't think he did. Even though I've read the whole Bible several times, I never studied him. He was like, I just felt sorry for him because of the way he was treated and the way his mama treated it. His mama was treated, and I was like, that is horrible what they did to them. And I knew that he did go on to have children, but I didn't realize those children were mentioned so many times. No, I didn't realize he was a social outcast. I didn't really understand that part because I never tried to understand him. And I don't know if we need to study all of these people in the Bible, but honestly, you can kind of understand more about what's going on in the world now by understanding what the Bible is saying and what happened then. And it's like, it kind of blew my mind a little bit when I started looking at all this stuff. It kind of did. And which I have this, what happened to Ishmael in the Bible, which really, I don't even know why I pulled this one up other than it was just like a recommended thing somewhere. I don't even know where it was. But see, there's who were descendants, and it's just all kind of stuff. And just from this one website, and that's not the only website I've seen, but I don't only use the website, though. I use my books and stuff. But this just talks about what happened, like how he went or where he went. What is this? Now I'm opening new links. Oh, or that's that one. Okay. See, that's what happens. I start opening those new links and I find other things and I go down rabbit trails. I feel like he just had a lot more to do with things than what I realized. Let's see, he became a skillful archer, which I knew that, and he settled in the wilderness of Paran. I knew that, and I knew he got married to a woman in Egypt. I know he had children. I knew he was at the funeral of Abraham. But I really didn't think he had much else to do with the family after that. And he might not have. But then again, I don't know. And I don't feel like this was much of a Bible study today. I don't know what it was, honestly. I don't. It was a me confused, trying to figure out. I don't want to say how to lead us, because I don't want to be a leader or teacher. I'm just the one that has the channel that I can go live on and we can discuss it, because I don't feel like I'm that, you know. But I don't know. It's so much. Did y'all realize it was this much? Did y'all realize he had so much influence that his family was talked about this much in the Bible? Did y'all realize? Let's see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's see. At least 9 different books of the Bible that they're mentioned in. That's just what I can, just like right here. A facilitator. Okay, yeah, I guess I could be that. But did y'all realize that that they were so much of an influence? I didn't. I just thought we were going to go over it and we were going to figure out where they went, or maybe possibly figure out where they went and who they are now. It's like they were very influential. And let me just see, I want to kind of go over a couple of things. Let me just go over a little bit, maybe. I don't know, this may be a mistake. Let's just go to Isaiah 67. Can you work, please? Thing. Okay. So, all the flocks of Kedar shall be gathered together unto thee. The rams of Nebaioth shall minister unto thee. They shall come up with acceptance in mine altar, and I will glorify the house of my glory. Okay, so this is Kedar. This is the son, the second son, and this is, I don't know. It's just so much. I don't even know how we're going to do this. I don't know. But I'll figure it out before next week. And I will, actually, that was not even, I wasn't even looking up Kedar. I was looking up Nebajoth. How did I get there? Did I look up the wrong thing? Isaiah 67. No, I didn't. That's Isaiah chapter 60, verse 7. All right. Well, see, some Bibles say, I'm trying to point at it like y'all can see it. Nebaioth, or Aoth, I don't know how you say it. And some have a J, Nebajoth. It's just according to which Bible you're reading. There's so much that I did not understand. And it doesn't matter to our salvation. What matters to our salvation is Jesus and believing in Him and what He has done for us. But I don't think that God would have put this stuff in the Bible if He didn't want us to learn it. If He didn't want us to understand it. And I do believe that the more we study the Old Testament, or study the Bible period, but we study the Old Testament, the more we can understand who Jesus is, why He came, and how bad it was that He had to do what He did for us. Does that make sense? Like, we see how bad it got, which now it feels like the world has gotten that way again. So much. But I feel like if we study these things, we can understand why God decided to let Jesus do what He did. So, I don't know. Let's see. Now I want to go look at 1 Chronicles, the other things. I don't know. I want to look at all of this. I want to learn all of this now. 1 Chronicles 4:25. It talks about going down to 25. I mean, this is just that's sons of Simeon. That's not going to be the same one. See? They're right there, even though I looked it up. I just looked up the name. That's not the same one. So I can take that off. That's not... I should have looked at that. See, I just wrote down where they were. I took concordance, and found names and just wrote them down. And that way I could figure it out. So that's not even him. And Mishma is not either. Because this is the sons of Simeon. So that's not even the same. See, there's so many that are named the same too. So there may be less that we're going to be finding about some of them. I don't know. Y'all let me know what you think. Because the only way I know to do it is to break them down and figure them out by each one. Now I want to know if this one is right with Joshua. Where am I at? Where am I going? I don't know where I'm going. There's Joshua. Where did I just see it at? Joshua 15. 52. This is a lineage again. Oh my goodness, I might have to go way up and figure this out. This is in Egypt. I don't know. I'm going to have to do some serious digging, I think, to help us understand. Maybe, I don't know if anybody else, I like, been so weird about it, but I'm kind of weird about it. What did Job say? 6:19. This is Tema. The troops of Tema looked. The companies of Sheba waited for them. We read about Sheba in 2 Samuel. I'm looking it up in a complete book of who's who in the Bible. Hold on a minute and I'll see what I can find for you. Wait a minute. I have one of those. It may not be in here though. I have a topical Bible notes thing too. Of course, all my Bibles, all my who Who's who and where's where in the Bible. This is probably not it. But I have, all my books are crazy right now. Oh, I had something marked for some reason. I don't need it marked now. Maybe I need to look in here and see what I can find. There's Ishmael. Let's see if I can find that one. Can you go to ends? Right. N-E. N-E-B. Oh, he's not in here. So I may not be able to find some of them in this book. I may not be able to find any of them in this book. But I'm going to keep it out to be able to look. But I don't know, I've kept y'all almost an hour just being confused. I don't know if I've confused y'all or not. I don't even know. I didn't know how to even try to figure it out. What is this one in Ezekiel? 27. Oop, there you are. 21. Arabia and all the kings, princes of Kedar. Okay. I wonder if, I don't know. I don't know how to do it other than just start looking in the Bible for each one, because there's so many scriptures that I found, which now I found that a few of them are not the correct person, which is another thing that some people may do, is mix people up, because there's some people named the same things, and or they're, you know, and they mix them up. We're just going to study it, I guess. We're going to just figure it out, and we'll go from there. And if there's ever, Amy, you said you wanted me to put them in the description box. Now I don't know if I need to, because I just found that some of them were wrong. Maybe I'll put them in the description of each week. But then y'all won't be, or maybe I'll put them on a community page whenever I figure out if they're correct or not. And I'll just, y'all want me to do that? Like I do with the other study on Thursdays? I could do that each week. Like say, these are the ones that I'm looking at or something for Tuesday. Because I found some of these may be wrong. I found all 12 of them in that book. Do you want me to copy them off and send them to you? Which book is it? What's the name of the book? It's not this book, is it? This book is little, though. Who's who and where's where in the Bible. Because it definitely does not. What's that? Well, that's a Bible. That's a prayer list from who knows how long ago. Oh my goodness, this has to be from 20 years ago. Or something. Maybe not that long. And it looks like one of my children drew a turtle on it. That's probably why I kept it. Because of the turtle. We'll just figure it out. And I know this week might have been like, y'all, like, why did you even come on today? Why? I don't know. I don't know if y'all learned anything from today, but I did find Josephus interesting. I found it interesting how much they are influences in the Bible. And I believe there's a lot more to it than what we think, you know. But I did put this website in the, like each one of these that I have here in the description box. But I guess I'm going to go because I don't know if I maybe confused y'all worse or something. The complete book of who's who in the Bible. See, this is just the who's who and where's where. It's not the complete one. I may have the complete one somewhere, but I don't know for sure. But now I want to look for it to see if that's the name of the book. Okay, let me write it down. Oh, that was something that I was talking about with Amy. I have so many books. I don't need to buy anymore, but some I don't mind getting, like, that are definitely gonna help me with studying stuff. But anyway, I'm gonna go, and I'll see y'all Thursday. Hopefully this was okay, because I know it was completely different and it wasn't really a Bible study. It was confusion. That's what I feel right now, is a little bit, well, not confused, but I feel curious. I think that's the word. I feel very curious about who these people were and what kind of impact that our world has now because of them, if that makes sense. Because everybody in the Bible, there was something that they did, and there's a reason why they were put there, and they did impact us now, or somehow in the future it might be that they impact us. I don't know. But I guess that's all I have. I feel like this was just not what I thought it was going to be, but maybe I've left y'all more confused, or maybe I've left y'all wanting to go figure out things just like I do. But anyway, I'm going to go. I will see you guys tonight's video or Thursday. I'm very curious as well. See, this is the thing. It's just so, like, which I guess it's good, though, to have that hunger of wanting to have more knowledge of God's Word. Because I can't say I don't care about the people, because I do. That there were people. They can't do anything now, but they were people. But I think I'm more curious, and I have more hunger for it, because I want to know what it means to us now, if that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense. I don't know if I'm making sense today. But it definitely made me have more questions that I want to go and look for answers. But I also am this type of person that when I'm doing Bible study, if I have a question and I don't find an answer, for some reason, I'm okay with that, because I feel like maybe it's not time for me to find the answer. But usually, God shows me something in my study, and I think maybe possibly that's the reason why that He had given me the hunger. I don't know. But either way, we can just keep searching and learn more and figure out things that He wants us to know. And the only way we're going to do it is we stay in the Bible. That's the only way we're going to do it. But I will see you guys again tonight in my video, Thursday in the Bible study. Yeah. If you have any prayer requests, just leave them in the, y'all know what to do. Leave them in the places. And remember, don't take any wooden nickels, and be sweet.